Hello everyone. So this year I finally got to visit the annual book fair in Chennai with my friend, and wow, it was such an experience. It's huge, like really huge, rows and rows of books as far as you can see. Just standing in front of all those stacked books gave me this overwhelming sense of how many minds are contributing to the richness of our world, and there was this incredible mix of local authors, international bestsellers, and some hidden gems. And we came across so many interesting books, and we spent hours just browsing and talking. The books at the fair weren't just for one specific group, there was something for everyone, regardless of age or interest. Whether you're into fiction, non fiction, comics, or anything else, this fair has it all. There was also a cinema section for all the movie buffs, and it was pretty packed. I spotted books about Chennai and so many other cult classics. It was like a film lover's dream come true, with books detailing behind the scenes moments, screenplays, and biographies of famous directors and actors. People were crowded around, flipping through pages, geeking out over their favorite movies. It was such a cool vibe. Coming to the biographies and autobiographies, they had a solid collection as well. There were also author talks and book signings going on. It was really cool to see authors up close, talking passionately about their books, sharing stories, and answering questions. There was a section dedicated to children's literature. It was impossible to miss because everything was so vibrant and eye-catching. When I saw the scholastic stall, it totally took me back to my childhood. The books were neatly categorized, which made it super easy to navigate. They had sections for early learning, non-fiction, fantasy, STEM books, fairy tales, picture books, and activity books. There were also some cool interactive books with pop-ups and puzzles. As I was walking around, I saw this quote by Arinyar Anna that really stuck with me. It said that after the basic necessities are taken care of, the next priority should be given to libraries. We stumbled upon Matthew Perry's book. We spent quite a bit of time reading through it. It wasn't just because we are fans of the series Friends, but seeing his life beyond Chandler Bing was honestly a bit emotional. It showed us who Matthew Perry really was.
I think I feel a little nostalgic looking at all the kids' books, and I was just reading an Akbar Paper story. It feels very nostalgic to me, but not very because I don't read a lot of books. Yeah, in the childhood I used to read, so right now I'm just looking around talking to my friends.
I'll admit, I usually stick to reading books in English, but this time I was really inspired to explore more Tamil books. I was surprised at how many incredible titles are out there that I haven't even considered before, and now I feel like it's about time I dive into Tamil literature too. One thing that really stood out to me were the books on figures like Velupillai Prabhakaran, Arinyar Anna, and Ambedkar. I mean, we've all read about them in textbooks, right? But seeing these books felt different. This was an opportunity to really dive deep into their ideologies, their struggles, and how they shaped society. So, for anyone who wants to understand their legacy beyond what we've already learned, this book fair was the perfect place to pick up something meaningful. I was also spotting all the books that have been going viral on social media. Titles like Atomic Habits, Ikigai, The Midnight Library, and so on. And as I was chatting with one of the publishers, he mentioned that their publishing house's top-selling book was The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Apparently, it blew up after a celebrity mentioned it in an interview. It was really cool to hear how much influence celebrities can have on book sales. And speaking of popular reads, the fair was packed with self-help books. Titles like Think and Grow Rich and The Power of Now, they were all flying off the shelves. One thing that I liked was the presence of women writers who were representing the realities of women through their books. Some of these women were even handling their books over to members of communist parties. There were also many books focused on the political history of Tamil Nadu, especially the Dravidian movement and the major political parties that have shaped the state's politics for decades. One of the publishers that really caught my eye this year was Neelam Publications. They are known for publishing books on social justice, nationalism, and fight against caste system, and also upliftment of the marginalized communities. They publish tons of interesting books ranging from social and political commentaries to literature and biographies. They continue the legacy of icons such as Periyar and Agni Ramana, and they're making sure that the voices of the marginalized communities are heard. I came across one biography called Kesola, which tells the story of a dwarf woman who overcame many societal and physical barriers. I want to talk about anime for a moment. A lot of people think that it's just exaggerated and unrealistic characters doing crazy things, but it's so much more than that. Take One Piece for example, which is my favorite anime. It deals with heavy issues like racism, revolution, and social injustice, poverty, and child labor, and so much more. I feel like anime should be taken more seriously as a medium because it can, just like books, it can give you, new perspectives on life in a way which is relatable and meaningful. So I also came across a number of Emily the Strange books, which is younger fiction. So Emily the Strange is quirky and a gothic character created by Rob Weaver, and she's the queen of all things, sassy and strange, and she's known for being independent, and she loves black cats and science. She's this mysterious girl, so if you're interested in gothic themes, a dark humor, and the strong female characters, this one's for you. They're also visually stunning, which makes the reading experience even more immersive. I had this really interesting conversation with a translator while I was there. She was talking about the whole vibe at the book fair, and she's right. The energy was so different. There's something about seeing people hunting for books, like everyone's on a mission to find their next favorite read. She mentioned that for her, the book fair feels like a festival, and honestly, it totally did. She also had this great suggestion for young readers. If kids are reading, say, 3 fiction books, they should mix it up and read at least one non-fiction book just to keep things balanced. I thought that was a smart take.
So this is the 6th day I'm here. So I've been coming every day for 3 hours, and I think there are 9 rows. So it takes 3 hours for me to finish one row, and so each publisher here, they kind of, I feel they are specialized in a particular field probably. So the stall right now I'm at is something to do with cookery books. So there was one stall that had completely children's novels and books. Basically I'm a translator, so what I'm looking for here is books which kind of grasp the people's attention, and then so probably if it's a Tamil book, then I would like people like you to go and read it in English. So I'm kind of like talking to people, trying to find out what youngsters like you would want to read, especially books that belong to this land. For example, books on Periyar, books on Anna and Ambedkar. Those books are very popular here in the bookstall. So that's kind of like very encouraging, because sometimes you have this feeling that youngsters, they don't like kind of relate to what's happening in the state or in the country. But I feel that you people are very aware of what's happening and you know what's right and wrong. And so in that sense, I feel that those books, I see most of their books in all the youngsters' hands. So that's very encouraging. And you people are the future. And more than reading fiction, I'm more inclined to non-fiction. So those books are very popular here.
Something that I would highly recommend if you go is to strike up conversation, whether it's with writers or readers or even publishers. Everybody has something valuable to share. I ended up purchasing 3 books. The first one is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and the second one is Norwegian Wood by Murakami, and the third one is Toilet Seat by Lata. So the novel Little Lies, I already read it a year ago, but then I wanted a hard copy of it, so I got it at the book fair. It follows the lives of 4 friends, and it focuses on this character Jude, and he has a traumatic past. This novel is a tough read, but it's incredibly moving. The second one is Murakami's Norwegian Wood. So this was a recommendation. I haven't started reading it, but I heard it's about love, loss, and the bittersweet nature of growing up. Finally, The Toilet Seat by Lata. I started reading it and it's really fascinating. The story revolves around social stigmas and taboos that surrounding the lives of women and their everyday struggles. It particularly focuses on lower caste communities. What I really like about this book is that it doesn't shy away from harsh realities. It sheds light on issues such as sanitization, dignity, and women's empowerment. The author uses something as basic as a toilet seat as a metaphor, to explore the intersection of class, caste, and gender. So this is my experience at the book fair. It was super fun and eye-opening, and it is definitely worth the visit. It made me realize how much there is to learn and unlearn. I mean, reading books can seriously shift your perspective on so many things. So by the time we finished, it was really dark outside, and I seriously cannot believe how time flew. Honestly, there was so much to take in, and even after hours of exploring, I felt like I only scratched the surface. So if you're planning to visit next time, I'd recommend setting aside at least a couple of days to really enjoy what the fair has to offer you. If you haven't been to the fair already, I'd recommend checking it out the next time it's around.